Welcome to Ever After, a Once Upon a Time in Wonderland podcast. Season 1, Episode 4, The Serpent. I'm your host, Molly Southgate, and with me is...
Martha Southgate.
And Rob Southgate.
All right, serious episode.
Okay, wait. What did we see in the opening?
Oh.
We saw a snake.
Yeah, the serpent was in the opening,
yeah.
So now we know to watch for that for sure.
Uh-huh.
So very cool, but yeah, this was a serious
This one doesn't have fun lines. It doesn't have funny stuff. It was very, very serious.
Oh, yeah. Well, Jafar is a bad guy.
He's a bad dude.
Mm-hmm.
So it turns out he was... His dad is the Sultan.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
so he's royalty.
So he's royalty, but he is...
evil royalty.
Right.
Well,
but he's ostracized by his dad because he's not...
he's not legitimate.
He's not...
He was born outside of the Sultan's marriage.
So he can't... So he denies him.
He's not royalty, actually. And he denies him. And he left him to be a peasant. And he gave him to that guy
who beats him.
Yeah, who was like abusive.
So this was a very ugly episode, I thought. But he sees
that
this
is not fun stuff.
When he was at his boss's house, who did he see at the market?
He saw a sorceress.
Right. Well, and everybody ran when she came in.
People averted their eyes. No one would look at her because if they looked at her, what would she do?
She would disintegrate them with a look.
Right.
Yeah, she could burn them. Now, in this one, they didn't fly into bits. They turned to ash.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So a little different than the other episode that had the Bandersnatch.
Right. With that one.
No, they didn't turn to... Nobody turned to ash.
That's why I said this one is different. They did. They were turning to ash when she would burn them because they'd say, "Don't burn." She can burn you with a look.
Uh-huh.
Did she turn one though? Did you see her burn somebody?
The bartender. I mean, the guy at the.
Oh yeah.
No, she didn't burn him.
Yeah.
She did.
No, she did. It caused the same effect when she turned the Knave of Hearts into the statue.
Oh, right. It was that smoke.
But in this...
So she turned him to stone. We just didn't see what happened. We saw the smoke going around the bartender, but then it cut away. When we saw them do the smoke to the knave, when the smoke went away, he was stone. So that's what she did. I thought
I saw the heap of ashes.
I think you're seeing things.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm right.
You're seeing things.
Whatevs. Okay, so he goes to the sorceress's house because he wants her to teach him how to do black magic. And she takes him in. So we see him as a boy.
And at first she resists, but she says, "Why do you want this? Why do you want this?" And he says, "Revenge. Because my dad is the Sultan." And he talks about how he's been rejected, and that's when she takes him in.
Because she, of course, would like to hurt the Sultan as well.
Right.
So we see him become a grown man then.
Yes. And she hasn't aged one bit.
Nope.
No.
Nope, she looks exactly the same, but he's grown into the Jafar that we know now.
Yeah.
But he wasn't as bad yet because he had the helper guy. He had the guy that brought him his goat back, and he said he was so grateful to the man, and he said, "Here, as a gift, we've given you some wine." And they seem to have a really good relationship.
Right.
And it turns out that she had poisoned the wine. And Jafar had accidentally killed this man, poisoned this man. And she said, "If you want, here's an antidote and you can save him, but I can't teach you the spell if you save him." So Jafar ends up letting him die. That's where he switches and becomes evil, really evil.
And the snake thing happens there because she says, like a snake, like a serpent, you can shed your skin, you can become new. And when he becomes new, he becomes the new evil. And later on, he does it again, and he becomes more evil.
Yep. And then he makes her shed her skin into a snake.
Right. He turns her into a snake, and what does she become then?
His staff.
Yes.
But she was lunging at him.
Right.
When he turned her into his staff.
Yeah. Oh, that was so cool.
Uh-huh.
Now, we didn't have a lot of other characters appearing here. Characters
No,
we haven't seen, except
just Lizard.
We found out who two of the characters are.
Who?
The ones that look like Bowie from Aladdin Sane. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Tweedledum and Tweedledee. They call them the Tweedles, remember?
Uh-huh.
We've seen those guys before. We hadn't seen them.
They hadn't been identified.
We didn't know they were the Tweedles.
Mm-hmm.
I love that when she called them the Tweedles, though. I thought that was fun.
Uh-huh.
And then, and we had Lizard, who was mentored by Will. She lived in the street, and Will took her in and showed her how to become a thief, which is really not who you want to, if you have a child in the street, you'd prefer them to be picked up by somebody who's not going to teach them evil ways. But anyway, right. He helped her out, and they became good friends, and so she was trying to help him.
Now, I wonder if Lizard is a character that they've created here, or if, they're calling her Lizard, but she's Elizabeth. Is there a fairy tale character named Elizabeth? Maybe maybe there's a princess or somebody.
Maybe it'll get shown as we go along. Maybe.
Yeah.
So
because I have no. There's no princess I know named Elizabeth.
Well, and she had that thing on her face. Did
that
you
was
that thing?
That was because she got beat up by the queen.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah, she said, I got hit by the queen.
Oh, see, I was wondering if that was something that's a clue as to who she is, that she might be
No, because it wasn't a scar, it was a sore.
Okay.
So Jafar wants the Red Queen to have Will killed. And so the Queen's collectors go out hunting for them, for Alice and Will.
Oh, this is good action here.
And Will decides that they should split up so that they can get away, right? They have a better chance of getting away. So he runs off. And gets caught, and where do they take him?
They take him to the dungeon.
Yeah, to the dungeon.
And
when they do that, when they split him up, do you remember you hear all that fighting? And we all thought that it was Alice that took these guys. And he gets up and he looks and he's like, Alice?
So who did it?
Lizard.
No. Remember when he's hiding and he comes out and all the collectors are laying there and they look dead?
Yeah, I forgot. It's the Queen of Hearts.
Yeah.
Right. And what does she say?
She took them all out.
Do you remember what she says?
No.
I don't either.
She says, it's not exactly the quote that I care about. It's just that she says, you think Alice could have done this alone? Does she have that kind of power?
Yes.
Of course not. She couldn't have taken out all those guys. It had to be somebody with magic. And that's what the Red Queen is. So I thought that was really
I didn't catch that, so that's good. So,
then Alice meets Lizard.
Yes.
At this point. And that's when Lizard says she's a collector. The collectors are the ones hunting the Red Knave.
Yeah, and she wants to go to help get Free Will. Help Free Willy.
Free Willy!
So Jafar wants a public execution for Will. He's very upset that the Red Queen just put him in jail.
Well, he also knows
that there's history there.
There's history between the Red Queen and
she's
the
lying to him.
So that's why he's trying to force it. Just like he was forced to kill his friend, he's trying to force her to kill Will.
So what does the Red Queen offer Will? How she offers to save him? Who's she sending to save him?
The White Rabbit.
Yeah.
But Will says, no way.
Kill me.
Yeah. He dares her. He says, I dare you to kill me.
Yeah.
She said, I dare you to kill me?
I double dog dare you. And then he stuck his tongue on a pole. No, never mind. That's
a different movie.
That's Christmas Story. So,
No, he did the triple dog in Christmas.
There you go.
Mom's a little afraid of the triple dog. She can only go as far as the double dog.
So as they're about to execute
that
him...
reminds me of Devil Dogs. Devil Dogs, I used to get this hot dog place in Chicago. Yum. Or no, those were Demon Dogs.
Demon Dogs.
Devil Dogs are those
chocolate
cake
cakes.
things.
Yeah.
Okay, so Alice and Lizard are in the crowd as they're going to behead Will. They're about to cut off his head.
And everybody's cheering yay!
I know, what is wrong with people? Why would somebody cheer to watch someone get their head cut off?
They're saying...
Because they're crazy.
People are sick.
They got bloodlust.
So
that's what they call it.
So who saves them?
Jiminy Cricket.
Alice.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm watching something different.
And then they jump onto a catapult.
And they catapult.
Yep.
off into the distance.
Yeah,
they
up
go
over the castle walls. And then they land in the maze, and they find Lizard at that point. And she's going to help them get out. But
wait, Lizard already knows Alice, so they were probably Alice probably stationed Lizard there.
Yeah, maybe. And then Jafar comes in on his magic carpet. That was so interesting. Cool.
Yes.
Yep, he comes flying in, and then the Red Queen comes up from behind, and they basically start threatening him, and Jafar tries to strangle with magic, like Darth Vader, sort of. Darth Vader did that. Yeah, he did. Yeah? Are we having Star Wars talk? Welcome to Star Wars Talk.
No.
I'm your host, Rob Solo, and with me is...
You're Solo, because we're not talking about Star Wars. Burn. So, what did...
Your Queen Emalema.
What did Alice wish? She used one of her wishes.
She wished for her to die and for the Red Knave to die.
No, she said that if...
No, I don't think
that would be bad.
Okay.
I wish everybody would die.
But you're close.
You're close.
She wished that if the Red Knave dies, she dies too.
Now, why did she wish that? Do you know, Mal?
What happens if she dies?
Then Genie will be free?
The wishes die with her.
Right, and if
Jafar
the wishes
can't
die,
get his power.
He can't do it. But if she uses the 3 wishes, then
I'm
Jafar can take the genie, and he has the wishes.
I'm talking about I Dream of Genie.
You do love that show.
Because I just said, and Genie.
Yes, you do love I Dream of Genie. That's a slightly different version, but yeah. So Jafar is stuck now because he can't kill the knave, and if Alice dies, he's in big trouble. So
then, what does he do?
What did he do to Will instead?
No, not yet. He takes Alice and he says, "I can't kill you because I won't be able to get the wishes, but I can. I don't have to have you in one piece."
He was about to.
And he starts with magic pulling her limbs apart. Like grabs her up and pulling her limbs apart with it. He's taking his hand and spreading it out, and it's pulling her arms and legs. Yeah, that's what they call being on the rack. They would stretch people out.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he can torture her, but
she
he
won't
kill her.
And she won't tell though.
Nope.
She won't use the wish, and she says, "You'll have to kill me. I will never use that wish."
Yeah.
So then, what does he do? This is what you were talking about, Martha.
What did he do to Will?
He killed the Knave of Hearts.
He did not.
Oh,
He didn't kill him.
Worst commentary ever. You are giving everyone wrong information.
He kind of killed him.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. What did he do
If
to
he
him?
kills the Knave of Hearts, then Alice dies immediately.
Right, because of her wish.
He turned him into stone.
Yeah,
Right.
So he could come back to life because it's
Mm-hmm.
Wonderland.
Molly, interjection here. What mythological creature from Greek mythology has that power to turn things to stone?
Medusa.
Yes. I was hoping Medusa was going to show up right then, but no. And what other... Oh, I just thought of another one. What other story did a character turn everybody to stone? Had that ability? Do you remember who did it?
No.
In Narnia?
Oh, yeah. And wasn't there was a satyr.
Yeah, but who had the ability to turn them all to stone?
The White Queen.
The White Queen. So, who knows? Remember how we were saying we were hoping that at some point they go to Narnia? We've got the Red Queen here. Why couldn't we have the White
Queen somewhere else? Okay, so let's talk about Cyrus for a minute.
Let's talk about Cyrus.
Cyrus.
Welcome to Cyrus Chat.
Convinces the guard to give him his leftover chicken that he was eating.
He was eating the chicken like a ball,
like an apple almost. But it was bones. It was still all had its bones.
Yeah,
it wasn't like
it was like he cooked a chicken and just picked it up and started eating it. It wasn't
with
like
his bare
I'm
hands.
Eat the leg.
It was very medieval times.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of awesome, and I'm
it was
try
all
it when
kinds of awesome.
Yeah, when nobody's looking, I'm going to try that.
So he convinces the man to give him his leftover chicken, so that he could get what out of it?
Some food.
Well,
but
more than the food.
Actually, a wishbone. He tricked him by saying food.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, both, kind of.
Yeah, he did both.
Well, he
was probably hungry, but mostly he wanted to get a hold of that wishbone. And what did he do with the wishbone?
this was cool.
He connected the two.
Well, no, first, what did he do before he got caught?
Made a weapon?
Because he broke him in half and he was sharpening the end, right? Trying to make a weapon. So,
yeah, but you know what? I think he was only doing that to trick the guard. Because when the guard found that he was making the weapon, he threw the weapon down. If he does that, he knows that broken piece of chicken bone, when he puts the good piece on the floor, the broken piece is going to come
which
back
doesn't
up.
happen in the world.
Right.
So don't think that
but he
really
didn't have
happens.
another way of doing that. Although, you know what he did?
No, he would never have. Why would he have had to? That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
He could have thrown the other piece out himself and then done it.
I know. So
Molly,
he
what
wasn't.
are you talking about?
Yeah, we're not blaming you,
sounded
Molly.
just like me.
That was Daddy. So, but he didn't mean to get caught. The guy took half of his wishbone, but he was able to hide the other half.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then he was
But
able
why was
to
he making
reconnect
a
him.
little Sharpie. Was he going to
He was
stab
making
the
a
guard?
weapon, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that the thing
But he had this was much better than making the weapon.
could connect.
Mm-hmm.
Although maybe...
They were going to connect back together.
Yes, well, that's what I'm wondering, because he was using it and it was like kind of cutting the bottom of his thing.
Well, it's clearly enchanted.
Well, I wonder if he's going to cut a hole so he can escape, or if he's going to cut a weapon with that.
No, I have a feeling he's just going to get out.
I have a feeling when those two connect, it's going to mean Alice and him are connected.
Oh,
interesting. Interesting connection.
Oh.
All right. So, anything else?
Well.
Oh, yes. What happens at the end? Oh, we already talked about that.
Are we all?
I think we're done because Jafar poisoned the sorceress. And turned her into his staff.
Right.
I think we have talked about the entire.
Oh, although we saw at the very end. You remember what the staff did when he walked away? The eyes.
Yeah, they blinked.
They blinked, so we know she's still in there.
And who is about to take the staff?
Oh yeah,
Lizard.
I hope she does it. So in the next episode, we should see. Lizard Jafar just left it and walked away, and Lizard was watching.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
All right, the end.
That was so good. Well, thank you for listening, everybody. I'll take care of the business here, ladies. Thank you for listening, everybody. You can follow us on Facebook. Just look for Ever After, and we have updates about this show and about the Once Upon a Time Ever After show. They're both kind of on the same thing here, which is kind of fun. You can bounce back and forth between the two. You can also go to our website and hear past episodes of this show and all the other shows that we have on Southgate Media Group, including our kid-centric shows. We have Cuckoo for Who with Molly, where she talks about Doctor Who with us. And we have Geek My Kids, where they talk about all sorts of geeky, fun things with Alex, Liam, and Maddie. Sometimes all of them, sometimes one of them. It's just kind of a mixed bag, but it's really fun.
Sometimes two of them.
Sometimes two of them, yep. Sometimes none of them.
No, that would not be bad.
Yet.
No, that would not work.
Then it would be just Geek My Dad, and that wouldn't work as well.
Mm-hmm. And he's already geeked.
Right.
It would be a dad just talking to himself.
Yeah, boring.
That could be. Maybe he has an invisible child.
That's the worst part of this podcast is when Dad starts talking, right? Boring.
No.
Well, you can find all that at our website, which is
www.southgatemediagroup.com.
Yes. You can follow me on Twitter at rsouthgate, and I think we're actually going to get a Twitter account for this show, too, so that maybe when we watch the show, we can send a couple of tweets out and have some fun with that, too. But that's coming in the future. I think that's it. This has been a lot of fun. I can't wait for the next episode.
Me too.
I hope Lizard steals that staff.
Oh, I do too. Well, let's end this like every great fairy tale ends.
Happily ever after.
The end.
If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.
Why intro?